Hey Crystal, how you doing? Hey Samantha, Tana. How's your day going today? Hey Mike, how are you? Beautiful day here today. It's actually, I think it's nicer today than it was yesterday, which was a record temperature. That's because it's not windy. I wish we would get some snow. I was kind of thinking I'd stick around till Wednesday. They were saying snow Wednesday, but I looked on there. There's no snow. I tell you, this has really killed the news stations. They're not being able to brag up big storms coming in. There are none. Sunshiny weather. It's February. I'll be pulling over in a second so I can answer your questions. Got a great interview this morning from a guy. I'll stay here as long as I have to have a bunch of interviews in the shoot. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Boy, this weather is just fantastic. I'm not kidding you. Look at kids playing. Kids having a good time outside like it's summer. Hey Redmond, hey Lamb Chop. Yeah, it sure is. I mean, the water levels in Michigan are just ridiculous. They've taken out homes on both sides of the state. And even the rivers are high, a lot of erosion. I noticed that around Belle Isle last time I was there. I don't go over to Belle Isle too much when there's no shot of freighters. How you doing? This is, of course, the southwest section of Detroit. Hang on, I'll be pulling over up here. That's AK Steel right in front of me, way down there. It used to be the old Ford Rouge Steel. People visiting their loved ones at Woodmere Cemetery today. It's one gigantic cemetery. It looks like a funeral today. That wouldn't be a bad place to be buried if you believe in the afterlife. They can take me and throw me in the back of a 7-Eleven dumpster for all I care. I think it's a big waste of time and money. This is just such a great, I just can't believe this is February and I'm getting to do this. People walking around today without a coat on. I mean, they're not out for long, but February, you can't knock it. This is the big Arabic area right here. No parking on the grass. Yep, no problem. Why would you want to park on the grass with all this space available? Okay, so let's see. I'll go back. Which 7-Eleven? I'm not picky on that. Yeah, it's weather. Pretty good, 1960. How you doing? Over here checking out the Motor City. Finding out what's going on. Getting the truth. I've read before that means that it coats their stomach in a good way. Eating grass is a sign of good health. And if you watch a dog eat grass, it's only certain kinds of grass. It's not like every time they see grass, they start eating it. You watch out, they search out certain type blades. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Kat? Hey, Belinda, how are you? Daisy's great. Oh, thank you, Tom. I wouldn't really call it work, mainly like documenting a hobby, but thank you. Gerald and Kelly, yeah, I'm just tired of Kelly. I tried to take the high road on that and just overlook her issues, considering her problems, but it just got to the point where, I mean, she's going around contacting these channels that are trying to sink mine. She's contacted the police, trying to encourage them to investigate me for committing murders. I'm just done with her. I just don't want to have anything to do with her. Now she's been told if I see her, she can just keep on walking. I mean, I'm just done with her. Yeah, and just unappreciative, total ingrate. I don't know anything. It takes the fun out of doing this. And the same with Danette. People can deal with them on their own. I don't want anything to do with either one of them. Just because you happen to have a drug problem in your, and it doesn't mean you have to act like that. If you notice, nobody else does. Getting together, going out, having breakfast and talking and, exchanging conversation while I'm handing them things that people send. But with her, it's always chaos and negativity, and I'm just sick of it. Up here's 2 Dearborn cops showing up at a place. And that looks like a guy with something that says police on the back of his jacket. Looks like they escorted those people out of there. No, others don't act that way. I mean, everybody has a bad day, but it's just constant chaos. And anybody that she runs into, she always has something negative to say about me. She was calling me the week before I came down here, telling me that she compiled a list of all the women that have been murdered and missing, and she thought I'd like to have it. She's just bad news. I mean, if Kelly had a PhD and was making $1 million a year, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with her. So you can't really link it to her situation. Sick of her. Yeah, I think it's going to be a record day today now. They said the high was going to be 41, but it's got to be more than that right now. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Muse. Oh, yeah. I mean, Kelly finally put up a video of what she's been talking about all along. It just never ends with her. You notice how she wanted to talk off camera. Yeah, that's Kelly. Yeah, just sick of her. Hey, Ricky, how you doing? And she'll do what she can to go around and try and get the women that are working. There aren't that many of them left around there. I'm getting rich and I'm using them. Just bad news. It is laughable. Luckily, they're all off the chart crazy and super stupid. And the minute they contact law enforcement and try and sell them on me killing people, they just write them off and don't pay any attention to what they say. See, so here's a couple more uniform cops going into this place. No, Kelly lives down here in Detroit. I've interviewed her. I talked to Raven, but I've warned you before about asking questions like that. So you're done. You don't know how to spell Raven either. Right at the border of Dearborn, Michigan, and Detroit. One time they told me to get lost when I was talking to Becky a few months ago, but that's been about it. Other than that, no. Hey, Mateus, how you doing? Yeah, it's okay. It's easy to get them mixed up. I'm gonna have to take off some of my coats. It's nice. Trip's been great. Really has. Had a good time down here. I always do. It's fun. No, that's exactly right. That's why I wanted to make sure that I kept the the camera rolling last night. Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere around her when you don't have proof of what went down. Yeah, she certainly would. She's basically solidified her lot in life with her background, so I'm not worried about it. Church didn't work out. I went over there, and as it turns out, it is a church that provides a meal for people. And it started at 2, not 2:30. And I went down there and looked inside, and it was super busy, people waiting in line. I didn't notice anybody that I've interviewed before, anybody that I, had crossed paths with. So I hung around outside for a while and then took off. So it didn't really work out. It was a beautiful day yesterday, record temperature. And maybe they didn't feel like going down there. I don't know. I thought it was kind of like some kind of church service, which, it is. They're feeding people. So I wouldn't, it didn't really work out with regard to interviewing anybody. The sushi was good, not great. 59, yeah. Isn't that something? Hey, go look, how you doing? What's that, Lindsay? I talked to Marguerite for a long time, Gerald and Maddie. Oh, Brightmoor. Hey, how you doing, Eddie? I love Brightmoor. I haven't been over in that area in a while. Oh, it's that cold, huh, Louise? Oh, good. Glad you like them, yeah. Yeah, it's in the book. I talked to Marguerite for quite a while yesterday. It depends when I upload them as soon as I get home. I'm not sure when I'm going to be back yet. It's just the internet connection where I stay is slow, and after a whole day, I don't feel like fooling around with that anyway. Yeah, winters they do seem to be a thing of the past, don't they? Certainly not like the old days. I mean, I should be freezing my butt off right now, and I'm getting hot because I got extra coat. Yeah, it's really something. Yeah, when I get back, I mean, I'm not trying to spread out my interviews for views or any of that kind of crap. I put them all up one right after another, and then I put the things that I don't think people will like after that, like airplane videos, ducks, stuff like that. Isn't it funny? 64 in Florida. Boy, it's just weird. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, it's in fun enjoying this weather, but God, it is a little scary. This is just not normal. I mean, what the hell is going on? Hey, Belinda, how are you? I mean, this is January. In December, it was like this for a while. Now, you would think this would just be a particularly excellent day for interviews, but it doesn't always work out that way. 46, wow. Yeah, I lived downtown Chicago for 13 years before I moved back to Michigan. It's a great time there. I really enjoyed it. But you know what? I don't miss it at all. I think I left there 8 or 9 years ago, and I don't even have any interest in going back and visiting it. I mean, I liked living there, but I got sick of it after a while. The traffic. Yeah, it's funny you should say that, Tracy. I was looking at the radio show stuff last night, and I think I am going to do that. And the reason that I want to do it is because I think it would be fun to have people be able to call in and have a discussion where on the chat it's limited. You can hear me, and then everybody else has to type their responses. Yeah, I think I am going to check into an internet radio station. If anybody out there is aware of how to set one up or an experience they've had, I certainly appreciate it. I've seen Marguerite, Maddie, Gerald, Raven, Ebony, a new guy. Of course, Kelly. That's about it, I think. Yeah, I take Daisy to the park every day. Yep, every day I've been down here, I've taken her there. And I got, my typical airplane videos. I found a great place to watch airplanes now. I probably won't be going to the parking deck. Oh, Trisha, you didn't need to do that. Thank you. Oh, I do have a Wendy video. Not that long, really. It was kind of an odd circumstance on the Wendy interview. I did see Wendy and I did see Becky. Oh, she was on last night with Gerald. Okay. I did not see Coco. I thought I'd run into her at that religious thing, but I didn't. Yeah, not this time. She wasn't. I did hear from Jamie, but she never showed up where I was eating breakfast when I first got down here on Friday, and I haven't heard from her since. Yeah, I think a radio show would be fun, but if anybody knows the details or they've got one to recommend, I'm all ears. Appreciate that. Yeah, okay. Hey, Dat Girl. Anybody out there do any paralegal work that has active access to LexisNexis? We got any paralegals out there? No, I haven't called Tassie yet, only because she hasn't gotten back with me the last couple times. Frederick sent her $20, and if I hear from her, I'll give it to her, or I'll just hold on to it till I see her again. But, I'm glad you brought that up, because when I'm down here, if I've got stuff for people, usually I bust my ass trying to find them, but from now on, I'm going to put out before I leave what I have available. And if I've got something for anybody out there, they can find me. They can track me down. I'm not wasting all this time anymore. No, I didn't see it. Nope. And the truth of the matter is, when I'm down here, I'm trying to, I'm doing things that interest me. It's like a hobby down here, right? So, I'm not really interested in meeting up with people to begin with. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Yeah, weather's fantastic. This is where Detroit and Dearborn, Michigan meet. No, it doesn't need to, it doesn't be, no, but I want to, it doesn't have to be LexisNexis, but here's what I need. I need a case from Michigan, hopefully. It doesn't have to be from Michigan, but it would sure help. I need to cite a case from Michigan where they found that a dog on your lap is not considered a distraction or an obstruction. There's got to be one out there someplace, and I don't want to have to join just for one case. I need to find one case to where they've ruled in Michigan that having a dog on your lap is not inherently unsafe. Now, you can have an opinion you don't like it, but that doesn't make it against the law. I kind of went through this first hearing just, taking the Gomer Pyle approach. I didn't really care if I won or lost, because I really want to get them where I can get them into the final appeal, which is in circuit court, and then I'll get serious. I'll prepare everything properly rather than going in there and talking to Judge Wapner. But I need a case where I can cite that. There's got to be one out there. And that's why, and I'm willing to pay for it as well. A case where they found that having a dog on your lap. I think there probably is one. You know, they introduced legislation. They tried to introduce legislation in 2017 to make it illegal to have a dog on your lap. Well, they're still laughing. It never even went for a vote. So I think society has a pretty good idea what's unsafe and what isn't. They don't need some cop running around trying to play legislature. And there wasn't any driving that fortified a dog being on my lap with being unsafe. Believe me, if he could have written me another ticket, he would have. You'd have had to been there to appreciate it. He pulled me over. He didn't get the shopping extravaganza that he thought with regard to warrants or safety. So he wrote me that bullshit ticket. Even though for 45 years I've driven around doing the same thing and not one single cop has ever even warned me about it. It's nonsense. These courts are desperately looking for ways to fund this sham, and they can go pick on somebody else. I will eventually win this. I don't care how far I've got to appeal it up to, but I will win. It's a bullshit ticket. When that cop turns his overhead lights on, he's taking one of his hands off the steering wheel. When I got Daisy, I got both hands on the steering wheel. I mean, if anybody's unsafe, it was him. So I don't want to hear this nonsense about this ridiculously high hurdle about safety. Even Judge Wapner, the guy I saw last time, he said, what if the dog had to go to the bathroom? What if it did? What dog needs to go to the bathroom while he's on the owner's lap? It was like the most ignorant comment I could have asked for. I mean, what if you got a kid in the back and he nails you in the head with a Frisbee? I mean, should you outlaw Frisbees? What if you've got a woman combing her hair and she bends forward and you can't see out the right mirror in 3 seconds? I mean, I can just go on and on with these crazy scenarios. It's what did happen, not what could happen. And having a tiny dog on your leg is not inherently unsafe. And I will eventually prove this. Yeah, I appreciate it, Crystal. I'll pay somebody for it. I don't want to have to join that LexisNexis because I'm really not doing any PI cases. I don't know any paralegals because I always did that stuff myself. But there'll be a case out there someplace. I don't really need it for this next one because it's another Judge Judy thing where this judge just acts like it's charades on there. I need to get in front of a legitimate court so my final appeal after the district court level will be at the circuit court, which is what I'm looking for. I'll be able to silence this screwball with his testimony and get some hard, cold facts with regard to cases and subpoenas if I need to. They've already failed with regard to getting back with me on the Freedom of Information Act within a timely manner, and I'm going to pursue that as well when I get back. They're trying to tell me that their vendor didn't provide the documentation that I requested. Whatever happened to computers? I think they know that they've got a problem with this guy, and that's why they're dragging their feet on providing to me what I requested. Hey, pretty good, Horse Whisperer. How you doing? I'm just down here around the southwest section of Detroit. Well, I'll tell you exactly what it is these states are all broke now. And it's just like the NBA. You know, there's a secret unwritten rule about how you make calls in the NBA. And the theory behind that is don't touch the superstars. The NBA realized long ago they got a bunch of shrewd Jewish guys running the thing, which I don't blame them. And these guys realize that professional sports, it's part entertainment, it's part sports, even though it's sold as being a game. And the last thing people want to see when they go and watch LeBron James dunk from 20 feet away is seeing whistles blown and him being called for traveling. Just when Kobe played, LeBron, Michael Jordan, all of them, I mean, these guys take 3 and 4 steps, they travel, they walk, they palm the ball. But it's fun to watch. And you never get away with that in high school. They're starting to let carrying and palming the ball get away in college. Well, this is analogous to the court system now. There's a secret handshake at a wink that these people need to fund these district and circuit courts, and that means bringing in as much money as possible. So in the old day, when you would have got a slap on the wrist, they need that money now. That's why they got this guy out there writing these stupid tickets that are $125 because I had a dog on my lap. And as I said earlier, I've had a dog on my lap for 45 years and nobody ever said a word. Now all of a sudden it's unsafe. Bullshit. If it was unsafe, the law would have passed 100 years ago. It's not. So I'm not going to be part of their emergency financing campaign on keeping this sham running. And if I ultimately do lose, which is a possibility, well, they're going to need to earn it on this one. I'm not just paying some ticket because of the hassle. I'm down here anyway. They don't know that. The last judge I had was like a total screwball. Yeah, thank you. And as Andy mentioned the other day, you could argue that I have more control of the dog on my lap than anywhere else. I mean, we're going to make it illegal for dogs to ride in cars? I mean, according to this judge, what if a dog was in the back seat and started attacking my neck? I mean, what are you talking about? This guy is a judge? I mean, he had to put a clown hat on. I wanted to just say something to him, but I could tell early on when he didn't want to see any of my photographs days on my leg. I knew I was hosed right then. But as I told you, I was planning on losing. So it didn't really matter. I didn't tell you this, too. You know, this cop, it looked like that guy on Full Metal Jacket. You know, I knew I was getting a ticket the minute I made eye contact with this guy after he told me why he pulled me over. And when I get to court, I've really barraged the state with Freedom of Information Act requests. There's a lot of stuff I want. I think this guy's a bad cop. I think he's had complaints. And I want this to be a matter of record. And I want to see what trouble he's got in before. No cop just has a guy out amongst people speeding on a busy expressway with something else going on. You know? It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, so when I get to court, I get there early. I'm not bragging, but I'm really anal about this. If I've ever been late for anything, airplane, flight, a court appearance, anything, I get there early. So I'm sitting in the court before court's in session, and I see this cop walk in. And he says, Mr. Reed? It's like, yeah. He said, can I speak to you for a second? It's like, sure. You know, I'm trying to be professional about this. So we go out in the hall. He says, what is your intentions? It's like, what are my intentions? What do you think they are? If I was paid the ticket, I wouldn't be here. I said, it's to challenge this ticket. He said, oh, okay. And then we walked back in. If I'd have known that's what he was going to ask, I'd have told him to get lost. It's the stupidest ticket in the world. I really think so. Look, that's not to say that a dog can't be a safety violation. I mean, if you've got some big-ass dog and it's running around, I get that. And if I got laughed out of the session. So, yeah, okay, you wrote me a ticket. Now, this cop will wink at you and say, that's the law. All right, well, that's what I'm going to do, too. I'm going to obey the law. and you're going to provide whatever documentation I requested, like it or not, and you're going to do it in a timely basis. And if you don't, you're going to pay a fine for it. Yeah, a bee, that's the same thing, yeah. They're going to say, well, you should have pulled over, you knew there was a bee in the car. Instead, you were swatting at it, weaving in and out of traffic. I mean, I can even half-ass understand that. Yeah, okay, there's a bee flying around, you know, he could sting you, pull your car over, and get the damn thing out of there. That would make sense. But a dog sitting on my lap? At that moment that he saw me, he was the unsafe one by only having one hand on the wheel when he turned on the overhead lights. As long as we're going to talk crazy talk. Yeah, well. I'll tell you, Delray's one big open field now. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my ground. Believe me, I'll fight this. Hey, I can take a ticket, man. I know when I deserve a ticket. It's no problem, man. I've speed and run stop signs and all that shit. Guy comes up and says, you know, I pulled you over. That's the same question like, do you still beat your wife? It's like, yeah. And he said, well, you can understand why I'm giving. I get that. I'll say, hey, could I get a break? Nah, I can't. You know, you were doing, okay, fine, pay the ticket. I'm just not fighting it for the sake of causing problems. I should not have got this ticket. Thank you. I think I'm fair, but you know, I'm biased too. I tell people all the time, if you see me doing some bullshit, call me on it. That's probably liquid oxygen for the blast furnace at Zug Island, which happily they are not going to close now. This is a cool area back here. Yeah, Mark, I just got tired of it, man. You know, I've even had second thoughts of getting the stuff that was sent to her and just putting it in a bag and leaving it someplace, but I don't even want to do that, because what she'll do, she'll get on there and somebody sent her 10 grand and it's missing. It just never ends with her. I was just trying my hardest to like stay respectful, but when she came up, when I'm talking to Maddie and Jero like Kelly's here, it's like, so what? Get the hell out of here while I'm talking. Don't ever interrupt me again. Yeah, just super rude. You know, like she's entitled. She's going to show me this street credibility. She can get screwed. It ain't going to be like nice old passive Tom when I run into her next time. I told her to stay away from me, and I meant it. Just totally fed up with it. She can spend her time now trying to contact another law enforcement agency to investigate me for being a serial killer, and contacting those kooks that are trying to make channels to get me thrown off YouTube. That's what she does all day long. Hey Dave, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just done with it now. Well, you know, it's true. Now, technically, I put her on notice, and I've got an uploaded video to prove it. So when I'm around next time, I got proof that I told her to stay the hell away from me. And when she sees me, she can keep on walking. So it's going to be a different scenario next time if I find this kook following me around, coming up to me when I'm in a gas station or something. I warned her. Yeah, you know, I've looked for Miranda down here. I have not seen her. I have some stuff for her. You know, that's the thing down here. It's sometimes you don't see these people for months. Yeah, yep. Now you'll get a nice day like today, and you'll find some people that just don't really understand cold water and hypothermia. It wouldn't surprise me, you know, there's just a little bit of ice on the river. It wouldn't surprise me that I'd see some people out here in kayaks today. These people don't understand, even on a nice day like today, that really doesn't play into what the water temperature is. I bet the water temperature is around 33, 34. You got about 10 minutes before you can't even swim any longer, before you drown. And these people, and the current is fast, the river is high. You tip over your kayak here, which people do all the time, accidentally, and there's a very good possibility it could be lights out before any emergency personnel could get to you. They're paddling around out there like, look at me, it's February, wow, this is so fun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did interview a guy today, yeah, I did. I wish I'd run into that Tom, the guy who was, you know, living in this piece of property that was sold. I'll show you the Detroit River. It's a great view right here, $1 million view, no kidding. This is the 20-foot space that Detroit residents have where they can see the water other than Belle Isle. That's it. The whole Canadian side you can park along and watch boats go by and whatever. This is it right here. This is all of it downtown where you can get up close. See, this is this transflow now. Bulk carriers unload crude oil. Oh, there's some guys fishing today. You believe that? Fishing in February. Maybe I'll go up here, park up here a little closer. I don't know what happened to him. There was a social worker made some comments that they were working closely with him. And they probably found some, you know, adult fishing or adult facility. Come on, Daisy. Come on. Catch anything? At least you're fishing.
You ain't weighed nothing for you, did you?
That's not better. That's not bad for February, is it?
Huh?
You're not complaining about the weather, are you?
Oh, hell no.
Isn't that something?
Man, it was. I was so glad to see the sun.
I know.
Yesterday.
No, today's nicer.
I hadn't seen the sun during about 2 weeks.
Too windy yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, not today though.
Yeah, no, but you know what? 53 degrees yesterday.
I know it. Record.
Yeah.
It might get up there today.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather take this and no wind though.
Yeah.
Good girl, hon. So a beautiful day here in Detroit. People fishing. Daisy out here running around. It's just so crazy. I mean, there's the real surprising thing. I mean, you get these freak warm days occasionally, but what's so surprising, and there's no ice. There should be just tons of ice coming down here. And there's none. That means there's none on Lake Huron, probably. Lake St. Clair. How you doing? Good. Come on, Daisy. Come on, in. Daisy's got a lot to smell around here. Those condominiums right there. I'm not gonna go with global warming yet. If you look back in historical records, you're gonna find there were way warmer days 100 years ago. I mean, 50 years ago, 25. I mean, this is unusual, but it isn't out of the box. I wouldn't chalk this off to global warming yet. This is what they need to open up so people can come down here and park. Got all this fenced off all the time. What a beautiful day. She's 7 years old. They got these damn geese crapping all over here. I think they need to start limiting the numbers on geese. There's another guy fishing down there. 2 more guys fishing. I mean, what more could you ask for? Yeah, they do, Alan. You're right. You're right. That's why, and if politics were around then like they are now, they'd have blamed it on man, and we know man didn't create that one. The Dust Bowl, drought. I mean, climatological changes are, present. I mean, maybe there isn't any people out walking. Come here, hon. Come on. Wow. Good mood, huh? Yeah, good mood, huh? Good girl. Go on, hon. Good girl. Good girl, hon. Good girl. Look at, they got a sign on here. Parks and what the hell is this? Trails. RV. I hope they do make this RV. Give people a chance to see Detroit. The river's actually very shallow. When we get the water gets a little bit lower, I'd say it's like maybe 50 feet deep. You can look that up. The data's there. The Detroit River is very shallow, and so is Lake St. Clair, which is just to the north. It's not uncommon for freighters to drag bottom through parts of it. And Lake Erie is very shallow as well. These are shallow lakes. Now, Superior in Michigan, that's a different story. And parts of Lake Huron. But Lake St. Clair, Lake Erie and the Detroit River. Detroit River is really not a river. It's a strait if you look up the definition. And you've got that wide open area of water that converges and gets narrow and it hits the Windsor, Ontario and Detroit side. And it, a lot of silt and mud and what have you builds up, but it's very shallow. It's not deep at all. Come on. In the summertime, when the water gets low, sometimes they'll actually have to reduce cargo so they don't start hitting things. And they do hit things. If you Google freighters and hitting props and running aground and beaching, it happens. Feeling good, hon? Stretching out? You stretching out? You stretching out? Huh? Stretching out? Come on over here. Wow. It's a sweet dog. It's not, it is polluted, but believe it or not, most of the pollution comes from the Canadian side up around the St. Clair River. It is, but not bad. Nothing like it used to be, and certainly much better than the Rouge. I took a video yesterday when I was over at Willow Park. I think it's a disservice that the parks are doing to the people. You should not eat these fish. Now, you can argue otherwise, but they've got these little tiny dinky signs placarded talking about the pollution and what the fish have in them, that you shouldn't eat them. As far as I'm concerned, that ought to be a 5-foot by 6-foot lit sign right next to the entrance of the park. If there's a health concern with regard to eating fish, you shouldn't be having a little miniature sign. People need to know this. And the reason that they don't make a bigger issue of it than they do is because of revenue. They know that when someone pulls in and think, God, we're not supposed to eat the fish here, they're probably going to go to a different park. And that hurts the revenue. So you got your own government here not doing their job, which I think is bullshit. You would have to have rocks in your ears, in your head, to eat these walleye out of the Detroit River. That or a death wish, or you're hoping for some kind of cancer. Because these fish are not fit for human consumption, in my opinion. If the data is there, this has been proven. I'm not making this up. Yeah, no, they're crazy. You can't tell some of these people some things. Oh, that's cool, Shogun. Yep, same in Lake Erie and Buffalo. That's exactly right. No way, man. They got the same problem up in Van Etten Lake, up near Oscoda. That is even worse. There's all sorts of mutant fish swimming around. Damn fish laying eggs in their rectangles and squares. You'd have to have an absolute death wish to eat one of those fish. And same with the Detroit River. You could just imagine the benzenes and the metals and all that shit hanging around the muck on the bottom around Zug Island. You know, it's one thing eating a fish that hangs out in the middle of the water like a bass or something like that, but to eat a catfish that spends its life down in the worst possible part of a river, and to eat that damn thing, you would have to be crazy. In the Huron River, the river that I do videos on in Willow Park, where I take Daisy, there's another example. I mean, there's some old place that used to do leading or aluminum or zinc coating or something that's polluted the hell out of that river, which is why those signs are there in Willow Park. The old Huron River, I bet, is not as clean, believe it or not, as the Rouge River. I'll be down here another couple days probably. I was hoping to catch a snowstorm down here, but as you can see, as I put my suntan lotion on, that's not looking like a possibility. I'll probably leave Wednesday. Yeah, a lot of mercury, that's exactly it. Forget that, man. You look at what metals do to, like, living beings. It's just not worth it. I wouldn't even want to touch one, to tell you the truth. No way. Not for me. I'll go get a fish witch at McDonald's. I don't really know where they're coming from either. I'd like to think there's nothing in them, but it's got to be better than the Huron River or the Detroit River. Daisy standing proudly today. Daisy, you standing proudly in Detroit? Huh? You standing proudly in Detroit? That a girl. Davey's built like a little tank. Yeah, I stay at a hotel when I'm down here. Yeah, I sure do. Yeah. Yeah, she's a cute dog. Daisy, you're a show dog. You're a show dog, hon. You're a show dog. Yeah, Eddie, they said that, but then go look at the weather for Wednesday. It shows a sunshiny day. It's weird. No, I never really was into teaching my dogs to do tricks. I had quite a few parrots too, same thing. I just don't want to take like an animal and just do something for like human entertainment. I think it's never, I was not into it, All that stuff, taking animals and trying to turn them into a clown show. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt them, but no, she doesn't know any tricks. Oh, Lincoln Park. I love Lincoln Park. Who's that, Eddie? What are you talking about there on changing their story? Yeah, Daisy has a good time down here. Oh, the weather people. Yeah, you're right. They sure do. I mean, they really misforecast a couple snowstorms we were supposed to get. Although, honestly, weather's dynamic. I mean, they don't have a crystal ball. It's a forecast. And some things unexpectedly change. So I'm not knocking them. I mean, any forecaster anywhere would love to be right 100% of the time. It would do wonders for their ratings. So, they're doing what they can. I don't think they're misleading us on purpose. I do think they'll overhype a snowstorm coming in. They realized long ago through algorithms and what else that weather garners tons of viewers. Even if you don't religiously watch the news, you'll get on there and want to see how much snow and whatever. And when that doesn't happen, they're inclined to hype things up that are just a big fizzle. Dearborn, Michigan. Actually, I lived there for 6 years. I was just in Dearborn a few minutes ago. Dearborn's great. It comes up in discussions in national politics a lot because there's a huge Arabic and Muslim population. Now, that's been that way from day one. My father worked at Rouge Steel. He worked there like 40 years. He started there, I think, in the 40s. And there were tons of Arabic guys working there then. By and large, ever since this 9/11, it's kind of looked at differently and comes up a lot. Prior to 9/11, nobody ever cared about Arabs living in Dearborn. It was fine. And there's still no problem. But, you know how politics and things get around. I think Dearborn's a quality place to live, both the east and the west side. And it wouldn't have any bearing at all on me deciding to move back there. I've thought of moving back to Dearborn, actually. I think it's a great city. It's got a lot to offer. And it's got a ton of good residents. I think the large Arabic population has made Dearborn a better place. I think the same thing with the Hispanics in southwest Detroit. This is such a great day. Did you guys get a look at my hot fudge cream puff last night? Those are the ones I talk about all the time, and that's the only place where you can get one served like it's supposed to be, 144 degrees. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, a lot of good places to eat. I like the old Lashish. I thought it was excellent. The new owners, I don't really have a Middle Eastern place that I consider great food anymore. Now there's a place down in Rouge. I'm gonna go there right now and have my lunch there. Supposedly has really good Greek food. I'm gonna find out. It's down on West Jefferson. Hey, good luck, man. Come on, Daisy. Come on, Daisy. Good luck.
Killer with you, huh?
Yeah, you know it. Come on. The Astro van. Come on, Daisy. People making fun of my Astro van, man. We'll see where your car is at 365,000 miles. Tell you where it's going to be in the scrapyard. Come on, Daisy. You'll be making a Campbell soup can out of it. Come on, right here. Not the old Astro van. I don't want to get rid of the Astro van for a couple reasons. One, it's got a lot of room. Two, it's all-wheel drive. Go on, get over there. It's all-wheel drive. And it's a tank in the snow. Secondly, I don't worry about it. When I hit a pothole and it knocks one of my fillings out, I don't care. I figured it out one time. I've spent about 10 or 12 grand on oil changes. You know? I do maintain it. So overall, I love my Astro van. Anybody ever sees one with in good shape, let me know about it, because I do look for them. But you know, this is a 2003, so most of them aren't around. Great engine, doesn't burn any oil. And the windshield, I go through about, you know, I drive a lot, you guys know this, plus it's a big windshield. I go through about 2 windshields a year, which I keep waiting for them to really screw me on my insurance. I don't replace them until I have to, and that's why I haven't replaced this one, because it doesn't affect my vision, and I know I'm going to get another crack in it. I just renewed my park pass. I should have had them put that sticker somewhere else. My vision's obstructed. I mean, that's what it's coming down to. You're going to start getting tickets for stickers on your window. I'm not kidding you, it's nuts. Yeah, Honda Element. Yeah, there's certain vehicles that really go through the windshields. 400,000, way to go. Hey May, how you doing? $275, way to go. Hey Blue Malibu. That's good, May. No, I know they'll write tickets to that air freshener. I've heard of that before. That's the same ticket I got. Did it stick or did you fight it? Hey, if you guys are, one of you guys go on Google and just type in Greek restaurant at Ecorse, Michigan. It starts with an A. It's something cafe. Open on Monday, will you please? Auburn Cafe, yeah. Is that open today? I'm gonna go into the Auburn Cafe if it's open. I can't believe I've never eaten there before. I had Johnny News yesterday. It's the Ambassador Bridge. Daisy represents Detroit proudly. What, huh? Oh, good. Yeah, I'm going down there right now then. Yeah, I love the coronavirus. I think it's not fair that they name that virus after a good beer. That's not fair. I'm telling you, man, there are thousands of idiots out there that think you're going to get the coronavirus from drinking Corona. How about the Budweiser virus? Man, none of the jackpots are worth a shit in the lottery. They're all been, somebody won them. See the Detroit 5-0? They advertise all over retired Detroit law enforcement. As it turns out, the guy was on the auxiliary police for 1 month, and he advertises himself as retired law enforcement. He's got 1 bullet in his gun. Oh, I believe it, Katie. Oh, I don't doubt it. I knew that would happen. All right, have a good day today. Yeah, 1 bullet, plastic badge. So that's about the only remaining game in town right there, the truck stop for Southwest Detroit. Yeah, I'll come up there sometime. Do you know Mark up there? Do you know Mark Abrams? I haven't seen him in a while. I usually, you know where that Sunoco gas station is there on Finkel? Just west of, east of Telegraph on the north side. There's a cafe where they teach people to learn the tasks associated with a restaurant. And you can actually get French press coffee there. I'll meet you up there for coffee sometime if you want, Eddie. I know you know Jonathan, the Camera Crusaders. You gotta know him. Hey Tasha, how you doing? Keeping track of things for you down here. Appreciate your support. Yeah, you guys subscribe to Tasha's channel. She's a no-nonsense, tell it like it is woman that has a high IQ and lots of common sense. Hard to find. Here's Mott's Hamburger. I see they're open today. Here's the old vegetable depot. May, how would you like me to go in there and get you a big zucchini? you, Marianne? All right, you too. You have a great day as well. Yeah, the girl that got beat up's doing fine. If you've watched any of the videos or chats, it's all over the place. My favorite drive back here. What's that guy doing? I saw a security guard sitting in here last night, this old Morton Salt building. I don't know what the hell he be doing back there. Maybe the state's keeping an eye on these homes. This is God's country. Oh, look at this big ass truck. I'll be reading while I'm driving. It's not your business what I'm doing when I'm driving. Block Allen? Okay, yeah, hold on. Alan, I'm sorry for any difficulties you're having in posting. Please try again later. That's a serious question. Please try again later, Alan. It was good having you on, man. Too bad you couldn't stay longer. But it wasn't up to you. Thanks, May, for pointing that out. See you later, douchebag. appreciate I want to consider calling every regular subscriber junior deputies for enforcing the law on the chat when I'm driving. It's hard enough keeping Daisy entertained, talking on the chat, and videotaping while trying to drive, and I appreciate you taking some of the workload off. Thank you very much. Right here you can own the whole block. You just got to be handy at house repairs. You need to know how to use a hammer and a saw, and you'll own the whole block. They got keep out, no trespassing. Who in the hell they think's gonna go in there? Thank you, Roger. People are bringing up this Becky and this harboring. First of all, Becky told me that all that was resolved and she's got a misdemeanor warrant. There's no felony. She's not on the run. She's already answered the complaint with an attorney on her cutoff tether. So I'm not associating with any felon. I believe what Becky told me, and that's the end of it. So you guys can try and turn it into whatever you want, but it's not happening. Because she's wanted, dead or alive, dead or alive. Oh, please rise. Next Level Ministries. The next level is a Cadillac. Oh, thank you. That house got condemned. That guy put a lot of money. You know, and you're down here struggling. You're trying to have a place to roof over your head. They come down here and drop that bomb on eminent domain. They don't really pay you for all your home improvements. They look at the tax roll. The tax roll is great if you're living there and they're not planning on taking it over. But it'll really bite you in the ass if you got to leave. They want 200 grand for this building right next to the motorcycle club. I was thinking of getting it for May. Open a bondage clinic. Hey, Cinderella. Here's my favorite building. Hey, Richard. Startled him. Yep, Ideal Bar. Yep. Want to have a rum and coke there? One night in Bangkok. Right on, Roger. Reverend Ike. Go there for my birthday once a year. Boy, things change. Oh, sorry about that. Bush. Environmental. I'm gonna try these lamp. This is paint on the wall. Lowe's on. Yeah, I'm not big on that Saganaki, to tell you the truth. I never really liked that much. But thanks for bringing it up. See if they got any rice pudding. See that dust? Really dry. You know, people wonder how they get lung cancer. I'm not going to wonder at all. I drove around River Rouge and Delray for 20 years. I know how I got it. If I'd have known I was going to be driving around here that much, I think I'd have started smoking. Nothing worse than dying of lung cancer and you never got to enjoy the nicotine high. And you died of lung cancer anyway. Vaping, okay. Yeah, I haven't really read up on that vaping because it doesn't interest me, but you know, they sure are selling that as wrecking young people's lungs. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, guys, because my battery's getting low. And once it gets like super low, it takes eternity to charge it. I got to get another charger. This one sucks. So I want you guys to have a good day. I'll report on my lamb chops a little later on. And man, enjoy this great day. If it's where you live, it's as nice as it is here. This is unbelievable. Okay, damn man, appreciate it. Gas is going for about $2.20 a gallon down here, $2.25. I got it for $2.17 today. I'm gonna blow my savings on some lamb chops. Nothing wrong with that. So you guys have a good day today, and I'll be signing on later. I'm heading into E-Course now. Yeah, do that, Clint. Come by.